What's up, everybody? What's up, Twitter? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? This is your boy, Too Sick. Back at it again with another One Nation commentary. And I decided, we talked about doing it. Why not do it? I'm going to be the first person to host the first One Nation classic game. So I decided, why not do this game? Game I used to love when I was younger. What you see right now is a little bit of Cool Borders 3. I know y'all remember that from PS1. So I'm getting in it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing because I ain't played Cool Borders in a long time, so I'm just bullshitting around. So what you hear right now when it comes to music is like a mega mix of a lot of stuff. But, anyway, let me get on and, do what I do. Like I said, y'all usually know I don't talk about nothing except for what I want to talk about. When it comes to Cool Borders, a lot of us probably played Cool Borders, almost damn near 10 years ago. Only reason why I did Cool Borders is because, number one, that was a game I used to like to play because it's different. I like different games every now and then, We all get tired of playing Madden and NBA Live or 2K or whatever, but I decided to do this because it's different. Cool Borders was a game I used to like when I was younger, because Cool Borders was kind of, the reason why I started watching and liking like the X games and the Winter X games and stuff like that. But, I know a lot of us got classic games that we all like, and PlayStation only gives us so much that we can actually look at, or actually play. So, I just decided to do Cool Borders because it's different. I'm gonna look at all the other stuff and see what they got on there and see what it do. But until then, Cool Borders was the first game I decided to play. I know a lot of people gonna be asking me, "You Too Sick? Why Cool Borders? You could have did something else. You could have did Siphon Filter because that's on there. You could have did Spiral the Dragon. Hell, that was on there. Cool Borders was something I used to like when I was younger. It was either that, and they didn't have Tony Hawk on there when I was, they had like Tony Hawk Underground in there or something like that. Yeah, I would have put that on, but I decided to do Cool Borders, because that was one of the, a different game that I like. They ain't had like NFL Quarterback Club on there or Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo. If they bring old games from that's one thing I wish PlayStation would do, and I know y'all can agree with me. They need to bring old games, not just PlayStation games, but they need to bring games from old systems like Dreamcast. There's one game in particular I wish they would bring on there, and it's called Power Stone. If you remember what Power Stone was from back in the day, like this video or leave a comment. It doesn't even matter. Everybody know what on Dreamcast the game Power Stone. That was the game where basically it was like you could do a 2-man battle or a 4-man battle, and you would fight until you get these jewels. When you get these jewels, you level up. It's like you get some kind of armor. Your guy will be, or your girl will be armored up to the point where you'll be you can use these special powers. But everybody used to play Power Stone. I don't know, not one person used to play Power Stone. But the games that I wish they would bring onto PlayStation from other systems, or that are discontinued or don't come out anymore, Power Stone was number one. Let me see. They brought Sonic Adventures on there, but I haven't seen it on there. I think they took it off. Let me see. Probably Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. If they bring San Andreas on there, we cool. I'm good when it comes to all the old. Matter of fact, it ain't gotta be just San Andreas. It can be any of the old Grand Theft Autos, like Grand Theft Auto 3 or Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Any of the old ones. The next game I wish they would bring on there is probably a classic game like basketball. My favorite one was NBA Live 2005. I wish they would bring that on there. That's the only ones I can think of at the moment. Later on, I'll get into, if I can find any other games, I'll let y'all know about them. But I was looking on Machinima today, speaking of which, and I saw that they are talking about the Xbox 720. to be honest with you, I don't see anything that I like about it. It looked like the 360. They even said, to be honest with you, they said that the Xbox 720, the only difference between the Xbox 360 and the 720 are, it's supposed to be a 720p, but they said if you try to upload it or if you try to do videos on the 720, the graphics will probably look like a 360. It won't be 720 material yet because they haven't actually found enough memory or found the actual capture card that they need to, or I don't know exactly how they put it, but they said it would, be up to par when it comes to what they said. They said the release for the Xbox 720 was supposed to come out between October and November of 2013. I haven't heard anything lately about the PlayStation 4. I'd heard so much from when I was younger about how much, these new PlayStations coming out. Before PlayStation 3 even existed, when PlayStation 2 was, I heard it was going to be called the PlayStation 9, the PlayStation Elite. I heard so much crap, and then PlayStation 3 came out, and now I hear, about people talking about, PlayStation is the junk. You can get either the old one or the new one, but I haven't heard anything lately about the PlayStation 4. But only thing I heard lately about the PlayStation 4, they said it was going to be automatic HD. You wouldn't even need to have an HDMI cord because most of the TVs nowadays, you don't even have to have an HDMI cord. It was going to be already in HD, number one. Number two, it was going to probably be released around the winter, like the beginning of 2014. And they said by then, they were trying to have some new features for it where we don't really even need, it was going to be like touchscreen for the TV. I don't actually know yet exactly what's going to happen, but this is from what I've heard, some rumor from gamers, from companies say this is what they want the PlayStation 4 to, have. So we don't actually know yet. We won't actually know until we get started, when we actually hear it. I heard about this machinima from last night, or about the Xbox 720. Like I said, it looks just like the 360, but, a little bit slimmer, should I say. But the 360 still looks slimmer than the 720. If you look at, like a split screen of each one. If you haven't seen the video from Machinima, I will put that video in the links below. You can check it out yourself, even though you ain't really missing nothing. But that's enough for me talking for today. I'm about to get on out of here. What you just saw is me coming in second place when it comes to Cool Borders 3, even though I did fail. They wanted me to come in first. But I'm out of here anyway. I'm going to bring y'all another classic gaming, probably one day this week or one day next week, when I feel like it. If y'all got any ideas, you hit me up. This is Too Sick for TV, and Too Sick for TV videos is coming back, and I'm about to be out, so I'll hit y'all up later on. Peace.